You know, Diego, every time I think about Panama City, I realize how it's one of those places that history just never left alone. It's not just a city, it's a living timeline.
So true. It was founded way back in 1519 by Pedro Arias Davila. That makes it the oldest continuously inhabited European settlement on the Pacific coast of the Americas. Can you imagine? Over 500 years of layers and stories.
And the name, Panama, there's a bit of mystery to it, isn't there? Some say it comes from an indigenous word meaning abundance of fish, or maybe many butterflies. Either way, it fits. The place is alive with movement, water, nature, trade, people.
Remember when we visited the ruins of Panama Vieja? That was the original city. It was sacked and burned by the infamous pirate Henry Morgan in 1671. After that, they rebuilt farther west, called it Casco Antiguo, or the Old Quarter. That's the heart of what's now the historic district.
And what a heart! Those narrow streets, colonial buildings, old churches. Yet you look across the bay and see a skyline that rivals Miami. It's like time is playing a duet. Old Spanish stones and new glass towers.
It grew like wildfire after the Panama Canal was built. That was the game changer. Opened in 1914, it turned the city into one of the most strategically important places on Earth. A true global crossroads.
With the canal connecting the Atlantic and Pacific, Panama City became an international hub. All those shipping lanes, military importance, and eventually financial clout. You can't talk about the city without mentioning the canal. Even today, it runs the country's economy.
Don't forget the rivers. The Rio Juan Diaz and the Rio Matias Hernandez snake through the metropolitan area. But really, it's the canal that dominates the water story here.
And the people. The city's home to around 1.5 million now. But the diversity, oh, it's a real blend. Afro-Caribbean descendants, indigenous Guna and Embera, Spanish colonial legacy, Chinese immigrants, Jewish and Middle Eastern communities, and people from all over Latin America.
That blend is what makes it sing. It's visible in the markets, the music, the faces on the street. The ethnic richness here is like nowhere else in Central America.
Speaking of richness, let's talk food. That seafood market down by the bay, Mercado de Mariscos, freshest ceviche I've ever had. And those rooftop restaurants in Casco Antiguo, Tantalo, Zahar, Fonda Lo que Hay, all blending local flavors with world-class flair.
And I'll never forget that fusion spot where I had coconut rice with octopus and plantain lasagna. You just don't get that kind of menu elsewhere.
Panama City isn't just about the palate, it's a cultural center too. Museums, jazz festivals, the International Film Festival, and of course, Carnival. That's when the city comes alive with parades, music, and color.
They're not too shabby in sports either. Baseball is a national passion, thanks to players like Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer in Major League Baseball, born right in Panama, and Rod Carew. And now there's growing love for soccer with clubs like Tauro FC and Plaza Amador.
As for milestones, well, they keep coming. In 1903, Panama broke from Colombia with U.S. backing. In 1999, the U.S. finally handed over full control of the canal. That was huge, reclaiming sovereignty over their biggest asset. And now Panama's pushing hard into bank sticks and even tech.